Hello and welcome. So we're back. We're still going strong from home. So we keep praying for a space. So forgive our dogs that are spoiled. As usual, that's our disclaimer. So it's been a week, a little over a week, a little longer than a week since our last podcast.
Yeah.
I think.
Yep.
Yeah. So we were mulling around what to talk about, and this has been in my heart for a while, and it's loving one another, and I think there's a ton that we could dive into when it comes to this. But anyway, well, I guess we'll get started. So tell me initially what your first thought is when I say Jesus commands you to love everyone.
My first thought
Yeah.
is, how in the heck am I supposed to love everyone when I initially want to be like, oh, I don't really like most people.
Yeah.
And I try and keep my circle small.
Yeah. And it's hard because we've spent the majority of our life thus far being very selective with who we love.
Yeah.
So I think that we get stuck there because we've always been the people that, I mean, you and I specifically, not everybody, but you and I specifically, that if we don't want somebody in our life, if there's something about them that doesn't, we don't like, then we just move on, and that's fine.
Yep.
So
Yeah, we're perfectly fine just being home and
alone.
alone.
Right, but as you get saved and as we're Christians and as we're in the Word, Jesus commands us to love one another. He says that's his greatest commandment, to love one another. And so for me, I started diving into that because I'm a nerd and I like to read and learn and study in words. I read something last week, I think, that said, I think I asked, how do you love somebody that you might not like? And I think I asked AI, and AI said, that love, we equate love to a feeling. And that's generally what we do. Like, I love you, I have this feeling of love towards you.
Right.
But the way that I read it, it kind of changed the perspective for me. Like, what it said was, when you love somebody, and if you're going to love somebody well, you do that by how you treat them.
It's like an action.
Yes,
like a verb.
It's an action. It's a verb. It's not how you feel inside. It's how you treat them. So, I think about people that we meet every day in life, and I'll just use a very common thing, just for ease of conversation. So, lying. When somebody lies to me, and I know that they've lied to me, in my opinion, in my flesh, my feeling is these people have no integrity. If they're going to lie to me, I don't want them in my life. I cannot trust them. They have no integrity, so I'm going to walk away from them. So when the Bible tells us to love one another, so how do I love somebody that, say, lies to me? So how do I love somebody that I know has lied to me? First and foremost, if I'm going to love them well, the way that God has instructed me to love them, then I need to say to them, I know you've lied to me, and I don't like being lied to. I would like it more if you were more straightforward with me, or, you know, whatever. But beyond that, it's how I would treat them. Like, I wouldn't walk away from them and disregard them completely. I would understand that they are people, and I would try to approach it the way the Bible says, and you know, handle it. And I say this all because this is what I know I'm supposed to do, but the reality is that it is a tough thing to do.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah, it is.
You-
Because, like, well, I mean, we can sit here and say that,
Yeah.
and it makes perfect sense. And yeah, let's do that. That will be better if we do that.
Yes, let's love everyone.
But when somebody's lying to your face,
Yeah.
it's difficult
Yes.
to turn that flesh off.
Yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, how do you know if you can't trust? How do you love somebody if you can't trust them? You know, well, first you have to tell them, I don't trust you because you've lied to me. And so,
In a weird roundabout way, with love being a verb
yeah,
and an action, although this person may not like what you're saying to them, but like a hard truth can more often than not comes from a place of love.
Yes.
I think.
absolutely.
Even though you might not receive it well, but like my intentions are loving. That's why I'm telling you this, and it may hurt your feelings, but like, as your friend, you need to quit lying to me.
Yeah.
Because I can't really help you if you don't tell me the truth.
Right, right. And it goes along with whatever else, too. You know, like, people, we all live in the world. We get disrespected. You get talked down to. Just sometimes people just flat out treat you badly. So how do you set your feelings aside and perform like, and do what God asks us to do, which is to love one another? And that is a feat in itself. It's hard, but and we talk about love being an action, and that's what it is. We have to do some work.
This reminds me of a quote, and I'm going to try my best to remember it word for word, but I think it fits here. It was something along the lines of, it's okay if you are hated because of your beliefs. It is not okay if your beliefs are hated because of you.
Ah, I like it.
And the first time I read that, I was like, ooh, that's good stuff.
That is good stuff. But it's real, because nobody is going to, I mean, yeah, people will listen to the things we say, but the reality is who we are and what we put out. Are we bringing light? Are we bringing dark? Are we bringing Jesus, or are we bringing our flesh? Are we bringing the world? Because nobody wants more of the world because they can get that wherever.
Right?
You know? And so like, for me, like, I think about disagreements and about, differing opinions and, things like that. So how do you love somebody well that you disagree with? You know, we do a study, and one of the questions in our study was, how do you respect somebody who has a different opinion than you? You know, and in theory and in practice and in saying it, you're like, well, it'd be easy because I can love them, and even though they believe differently than me. But you and I sometimes even have a difference of opinion, and it gets heated. It gets heated.
Yeah.
And it may be that I'm not respecting your opinion. Because once again, like, love is a verb, but loving somebody well means respecting them, which means you have to put the work in. It's not just a natural thing. Like we love each other. That is a feeling that we have. But beyond that, we love each other in a verb sort of way. You will do the dishes for me. I made dinner, you'll do the dishes. I swept and mopped the floors, you put the laundry in. So like, and I'm using tasks as an example, but that really is a way for us to love each other well, because we're treating each other well. You know that I worked all day and then I cooked dinner, so you're like, I'm gonna do the dishes because you did this. Not because you did this, but because
Because you shouldn't do everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like well, I think it's like a respect thing. Like,
Yeah.
why do I get to sit here like a bump on a log while you do everything?
But
I wouldn't feel right doing that.
I don't assume that you want to do the dishes, but but it's like putting in the work because you love me, because your love for me, it means that you have to put in the work sometimes. My love for you means I have to put in the work sometimes. I have to do the things I don't want to do. I have to listen to that every song that you love or whatever, or you have to listen to every song that I love or whatever, and because we love each other, because we have to put in the work. And it's the same for the people in the world that we encounter, as well as people we deal with daily.
And it's an election year. And it drives me crazy.
Yeah. Well, in being election year, not only that, but I just got off Facebook again because the reason is because I see parts of people that I don't want to see. I see parts of them. I want to encounter them face to face, like we are right now. I want to have a conversation with them. I don't want to see the negative part of them or the dark part of them. I want to see all of them. And I think for me, I can't love somebody well if I'm only getting bits and pieces, because then my flesh is like, rah. Because
that, and you fill in the blanks too.
Yeah.
Without all the information.
Yeah. Like, I have a love-hate relationship with Facebook. It's incredible. And for me, I just knew it had to go, because my heart was not behaving the way that my heart should be behaving towards others. Not, did I say anything to anybody? No, I'm not. I'm not confrontational. I'm not that person. 9 times out of 10, I'll just put a lid on it and move on. And that's not okay either, because then 6 months down the road, I've now have a jar full of stuff that has weighed on me, and it's not as easy to get through. So, like, we talk a lot about relationships with other people and how church has affected that for us, and how being Christians has affected that for us. Like, our relationships with people are different.
Yes.
Like, it is
a lot different.
Yeah.
Oh, well, the people that we have relationships with are different.
Yes. That's very true too. There's like
I spend way more time with my church people and my church dudes, and we're messaging all the time on, Messenger and chats. We're always talking about something. Whereas, like, I guess you'd call them my secular group of friends, I haven't talked to them in months.
Okay, so let's flip the script on that, because while it's amazing, the relationships that we've made, the friends that we've made, the family, it's what it is. It's an extended family. We probably need to do better reaching out. Like, I'm lucky because I don't have very many secular friends, so that's like not a thing for me, because I isolated myself for a long time. I put up a bunch of walls and boundaries around my own heart and my own mind and my own self, and became solely independent. I have a husband and I have children, and
Before we started going to church regularly, you would be in the house like, I have no friends, I have nothing to do, I have no hobbies.
Yeah.
It's just me and you and my dogs.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean,
Which,
they're,
I mean, it was fine.
Yeah.
But now you've got friends, you've got hobbies, you have no time.
yeah.
Like, there's no spare time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you've done a complete 180 as far as, having friends
Letting
and people to
people
talk
in.
to and letting
Yeah.
people talk. And
And so what I mean by, like, we should be lifting up and encouraging those that aren't like-minded.
that aren't part of our church family.
Yeah. Like, just as a way to spread the light, that.
What is that?
So I just think that maybe we could do a better job of loving others. And it's a learning process. I hope nobody ever expects us to be perfect, because it's literally, God has me personally on a journey where I'm learning something new about myself all the time.
I don't know if I'm to the point where I can look at random people and I'm like, I love this person. But I've over the last few months, I've grown to find, like, empathy in a perspective, like, where I used to, see somebody and I'd immediately talk smack or
Right.
make up a voice and
Or we're
make.
judgy.
Yep. Now I'm like, well, let me put myself in their shoes for a minute. What could they be going through?
Yeah.
And I never used to do that before. So, like, he's working on me. Like,
Well, we're all a work in progress, really. I mean, I'm thinking right now we're talking about loving one another, which is the greatest commandment. That's what he says. This is the greatest commandment, and it's sometimes really hard to do. And there are people I think that we see and that I see in our life, like our pastor. I feel like models how to love people. Like, she just loves you wherever you are.
mm-hmm.
Like, and that is it's an incredible gift to be able to just do that. And I want that. Like, and I'm working on that, and it is hard. But I'm interested to continue to keep learning how things that we've believed. So, like I said, I've always equated love to feeling. This is what you feel. Like, you have your children and you love them and you feel. But even that is work sometimes, because you're like, your kids get on your nerves sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Your husband, your wife get on your nerves. So you have to do the work. So you have to do the action part of love. And so you might not know Steve, your next door neighbor or whatever, but you can love him the way Jesus loves by your actions, by the way you conduct yourself, by the things you do, by who you're modeling for him. So if he, I don't know, like blow his leaves, like,
right.
you know what I
Or
mean?
he's struggling to start his lawnmower.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you
Let
need
me
some
help you
help?
with that. Yeah, absolutely. And that I think is a way that we love each other well. And so, like anything else, maybe it's that the more we do it, the more comfortable we are with it, and the easier it becomes. And then it just becomes a natural part of who we are to love others. Because the other part of that is we're all God's children. Okay? I always say Corey's God's favorite, because he always gives Corey little gifts, and it makes me smile. But the reality is we're all God's children. and he doesn't have favorites. You know what I mean? Or we're all his favorite. So he loves you. He loves me. He doesn't put me above you. He doesn't put you above me. We're equal. And so people we meet, everyone that we encounter on a daily, they're in the same tier we're on. They're on the same level we're on. And God loves them like he loves us. And they're our brothers or sister in the big scheme of things. And so loving them, he's saying love my children. In like I want to do what he says. and even when it's hard, even when I ride the struggle bus with it, not that I'm a rude person, because I'm not. Like I said, I'm not confrontational. I'm not rude. And I will do anything for anybody if I potentially can, and so, but I also don't put myself out there in the aspect of anything beyond a surface level. Like yep, I love you. Don't call me. I'll call you.
I love you. Don't call me.
Yeah, don't call me.
I like that.
If you call me, don't call me with something you could have texted. That's a problem. That's even for people I love. Freaking me out when you make my phone ring. No, but really, it's so hard to get. It's hard to get out of our flesh. It's hard to get out of who we've always been. I mean, that is, yes, I am brand new, and I have to consistently remind myself that I was made for more than what I've ever been, that God has a purpose for me, that God changed me and made me anew. He made me a new person. And that requires change, and that requires being different, doing different, loving different. And allowing people to love me back, and allowing myself to love others without fear of them hurting me, fear of them doing, something bad to me. Like, I don't know. I've been a girl my whole life. Sometimes girls are rough. Sometimes girls are mean. I'm sure men are mean too. I don't know.
Yeah, but we don't hold grudges like women do.
Yeah. And for me, it's less of a grudge and more of a, nope, I'm protected from that now. That will never happen to me again. That happened to me one time. It won't happen again. So, like, we grow and we adapt and we learn and we change and we do, all these things. And then we meet Jesus and we fall in love with him and we start following him. And then he's like, hey, you got to love one another. That's the command.
That's the goal.
Yeah, the goal. It's funny. So I use Blue Letter Bible app, and there's like a search bar, and then it tells you. So I typed in "love one another," and it says that. And then this is NLT, that it occurs in 13 verses in the NLT. Love one another, but this verse really stuck out to what we're talking about. Galatians 5:13, for you have been called to live in freedom. So yeah, we're free now.
Mm-hmm.
My brothers and sisters, but don't use your freedom to satisfy your sinful nature. Instead, use your freedom to serve one another in love. Serve one another in love. So in action. So not just, hey, bro, I love you, you're cool, but like, hey, I saw that you were struggling today. How can I pray for you? Hey, I know you need gas. Here's $10. I mean, if you're going to Kroger, but you know what I mean? That's serving one another in love. That's taking care of each other in a way that we wouldn't have done before had we not met Jesus. Maybe. It's definitely different.
Yeah.
It's definitely different. And even beyond that, I mean, it goes deeper and deeper and deeper. And I'm not there. I don't know about you. I don't know about everybody else, everybody who's listening. But when you forgive somebody, You have to forgive them because you have to love them. Because they're God's children too. When somebody hurts you, you have to figure out how to love them. And how do you serve them in love? You know, how do you love them well? Sometimes, like you said earlier, when you love somebody well, it's telling them the truth. I mean, how many times, even with our parents, you know, if our parents ever listen to this podcast, sorry, but how many times do we not tell our parents 100% truth about what we're feeling, about whatever, because we don't want to hurt them. We just want them to be happy and go, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So are we really doing them any favors? Are we loving them well by allowing, you know?
Well, I mean, when you put it that way, no.
I mean, really, we will not disagree with them specifically because we on the basis of love. That's what we do. Like, I'm gonna let you think you're right. I don't want to say argue because that's not the right word, but debate, talk about whatever. Or even if they hurt us or if they said something cross to us and it hurt us, we wouldn't say, you really hurt me. That really hurt me. Can we talk about that? We would just be like, oh, that's just how they are. We love them. They love us. It's fine. Move on. So that serving them, you know, in a way that is conducive to what we're talking about, like loving them well. If I'm loving you well, even in marriage, it's in every relationship, even in not relationships. If I'm loving you well and I allow you to do something that I know that hurts me or that bothers me, and I don't say to you, this hurts me or this bothers me, am I loving you well?
No, because I might just continue doing that thing because I don't know what it's doing to you.
And how does that make you feel? You know, like you don't feel good about that. If I said for the last year, you've been, what did we used to joke about things that we did? Oh, I leave the dishwater in the sink.
Oh, that wasn't a joke. I was serious about that. It drives me nuts.
Kind of like your laundry in front of the laundry basket.
Yes.
Okay. So if I say to you, for the last year, you know, you've been leaving your laundry in front of the laundry hamper in the bathroom. And, you know, not that it's a whole lot of extra work, but it's a little bit of extra work for me when you could easily just put it in there. And you say, I know this is silly, but so this has been happening for a year. So now you know that for a whole year I've been feeling some sort of way about it and haven't been telling you. So now you also have to, you don't have to, but you will take responsibility for that. Like, man, for the last year, I've been bothering her. And that is going to have an effect on you in a certain way. Or like me with, if I leave the dishwater in there for too long, you know, and these are just simple little things, but it could be other things too. Like I'll get real vulnerable. We've had a conversation where I've said, you're in your phone. Like we'd be sitting across from the table eating dinner and you're in your phone. Why, you know that I worked all day, came home, made you dinner, and now we sit down together for the first time all day and you're now on your phone. Had I not said that, it wasn't, I didn't like it, that it bothered me, you wouldn't have known and you would have kept doing it, and then I would have sat and let it fester and let it make me angry, and then I would have this place in my heart against you because you're doing this thing. So that's not me loving you well because I'm not giving you the opportunity to love me well. It's weird. It's like a full circle kind of thing.
It's deep.
Well, I don't know.
It's true though. Like if you hadn't mentioned it, like, hey, it was really nice having dinner with you and your phone today.
Also, I'm passive aggressive, so sorry.
Had you not done that, the next day at dinner, I probably would have been on YouTube or looking at guitar stuff.
Right.
Or,
So we really kind of owe it to ourselves. And even, I mean, we can take this, scripture that says to love one another as far as to say that in order to love each other well, we have to allow the other person to love us well. And that's also part of it. So if I'm loving you well, then I have to give you the space and the opportunity to love me well. And if I don't tell you how to love me well, can you? I mean, you can. I'm not saying that that's perfection or, or whatever, but, if we don't communicate those kinds of things.
Yeah, you have to communicate because, like, I mean, I feel like I'm a good husband.
You are.
But I'm not a perfect husband. So,
Right.
I know there are things that I do or don't do that get under your skin. But if you were the type of person who didn't call me out on them kind of things, for years and years and years, it would just keep building and building and building until one day you just,
I can't handle it.
you can't handle it anymore. And who knows what would happen
Right.
from that.
Right.
I'm sure marriages have ended because people don't talk to each other.
Yeah. Well, because it's hard. Like, I don't want you to. We don't want to make each other feel uncomfortable or feel any sort of bad thing, but we do that at the expense of ourselves sometimes. And even if my silly little pick up your jeans and put them in the laundry hamper is small, it's a very small thing, but it is a way that I need you to love me well, to recognize that, this bothers me. And that's part of it. I mean, the small things lead into the big things. So, like,
And I want to love you well.
yes.
I mean, even before Jesus got into my
Yeah.
life, I wanted to. So, I would immediately try and work on those kinds of things to
Yeah.
make myself better for you.
Yeah.
And, if we could do that with everybody.
Everyone you encounter?
Yes.
Absolutely. We talked about it last night a little bit. What if we were all just vulnerable? What if we just said what we needed to say? Because,
It'd be real windy.
you know what I mean? But that's real. That's what we are supposed to. I mean, not to a certain point. There are things we have to keep. You know what I mean? There are things between me and God that nobody may ever know. You know what I'm saying? There are things between me and you that people may never even know. But when it comes to things like that, like how loving each other well, we can't if we don't know.
Right.
You
gotta put your heart out there.
sometimes, yeah. That's scary stuff.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I know. Well, no, because then because in our past, in everything that we've learned in life, when you become vulnerable, then you allow people to have access to 100% of you. Or,
It goes back to what you had called me out on yesterday in our study. In order to be vulnerable, you have to be authentic.
yeah.
And people just aren't.
No.
And I'm guilty of that too.
Oh, for sure. We're all guilty of that. We create we make jokes about alter egos or whatever, but we create a persona, a person, that we don't wear on our sleeve. We have the person that everyone can see. That's the person that you're comfortable showing everyone. And then there's the person that, I mean, you and I were married, so you've seen me in the throes of realness, but not everybody has. And I'm not saying that not everybody should. There's things that people do not need to know in order to love me well, or whatever. But we have to be slightly vulnerable to love people well, the way that we're instructed to love them. I mean, we can do all the nice things and we can be whatever we can do all the nice things for people and we can love people well that way, and that's important too. But I'm learning that the more I go to church and the closer I walk with God, and the more that I learn that I need every single person that is around me to, and I need them to know me like different than what I put out there. Like I need them to know me, and that takes time and
Trust.
oh yeah, yeah. So and that's maybe just a deeper part of loving one another, in like when we first started talking about loving one another, I'm talking about I want to love everybody the way that Jesus tells me to love everybody, even when they make me angry or even when they, drive me nuts. And I've been thinking about that a lot for work too. So because work isn't church, but I'm still a disciple of Jesus, and so I've been praying and thinking, how do I love my employees well? How do I love them well without crossing lines or boundaries, or because it's work, and it's work in the world, where there are rules and there are things like that, and I'm their boss, I'm their leader. So how do I really have to lead like Jesus? I really have to do it the way he's done it, and it's serving from the bottom. And how do I love them well and get them, even when they don't do what they're supposed to be doing, or even when they're, it's kind of it's a strange dynamic. I'm still working on that. So if you guys have you have some insight for me, if you have some advice, because really my heart wants to love everyone well, and it wants to love every single human that I encounter, and I literally fight my flesh every step of the way, because it is like, rawr.
It's hard.
It's hard. Yeah. It's super hard. It's definitely not easy. And a lot of times my prayers are focused on, show me how you love them. Show me your heart towards these people. Because that's what I need is how does he see them? Because I don't know. I don't see them how he sees them. I see them the way I see them. It's like, this is a great example. I'm standing in front of a corn maze, looking into the entrance of the corn maze. Okay? I see what I see. I see 3 paths in front of me. One on the side, one on the right, one on the left, one in the middle. Boom. Okay? That's how I see it. Now, if I go above that corn maze and I have an aerial view, then what do I see?
Everything, all of it.
All of it. All of it. I see the designs in the corn. I see this way, that way, 75,000 different directions. That's how God sees it. I see 3. He sees all of this. So I'm like, give me some of your wisdom. Show me your heart, because I want to be like you, but I can't in my flesh be like you, because I don't see how you see. But I want to love like you love, and I want to see how you see. Mm-hmm. All right, so loving one another. That's what we've been talking about.
Love one another right now.
I don't.
What song is that?
I don't have any idea. I don't have any idea. So loving one another sounds easy enough, but after looking at it and talking about it, it's hard. So, but I think that we can all agree that we are all in the pursuit of fulfilling our, His commandments. And I think that if we in Galatians, if you read down, so I quoted 5:13, but if you read down, it talks about living by the Spirit, and then the fruit of the Spirit, peace, love, joy, and I think that's what it is. It's just walking with Him and learning and letting Him correct what needs to be corrected and teaching you, because you're always we live in our flesh, but the Holy Spirit also lives within us. So we have to make an active choice. Who are we following, ourselves or the Spirit? Are we being what He's called us to be? And that takes a little bit of surrender. And for me, it takes 75 scriptures and 46 books and 72 commentaries, because that's what I do.
I think you got more than that.
Yeah, probably. Probably, because I completely nerd out and read everything. I love to absorb information. I like knowledge. I like knowledge a lot. And I really, really, really encourage everyone to get as much knowledge as you can and work on turning that knowledge into wisdom and turning your life into a life that is modeled.
Obedient.
Yeah, obedient and modeled after Christ. And no matter what that looks like. Because some days it looks like you're in the mud. Really, some days you're going to fall on your face and fail. But you got to keep going. We got to keep going. So if you are listening to this and you see me, and there's a way I can love you well, and I'm not doing it, know that I'm trying. Feel free to tell me, listen, I need you to hug me, or whatever. Whatever it takes, because I'm not a hugger, but I will hug somebody if they need it. And it's pretty cool. It's hard, and the struggle is real sometimes, but the joy that you get. Think about when you love somebody well, when you love someone, and you're doing it, and that you're why you're doing it. That Christ has commanded you to love one another, so you are loving one of God's children. There is a joy that comes with that. There is a great feeling of doing it. Is it easy? No. Sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it really is. But
there's probably a fulfillment too.
Yeah.
Like when, we love each other, but to just, love a stranger and help them with whatever. When you're on your way home from that, there's got to be a fulfillment and a joy.
Yeah.
That you feel having been obedient and done the right thing.
Yeah.
And loved them well.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I like that you said obedient too, because we could just talk for hours about this, but sometimes being obedient to what God is calling you to do, or God is asking you to do, sometimes that requires uncomfortability on our part. If God is saying, Dawn, you and Corey need to do this better, then I have to say, Corey, God says we need to do this better. That's uncomfortable a little bit. It's more comfortable because it's you, but as opposed to a stranger. But what if you're at the grocery store and God says you need to help this person, or you need to give this person this money, or you need to speak to this person, and you're just trying to buy crackers or whatever? That's hard. It takes you completely out of your element. But in your obedience, you're loving this person well, and you're loving God well, and you're loving yourself well. But if you're not obedient, what happens? Does somebody else pick that up, hopefully?
Hopefully somebody else picks that up and you don't get a flat tire on your way home.
Yeah, right. But think about those kinds of things too. You might be the only person who ever loved that person well. You might. I remember working, one of my employees she quit and got mad at me. I don't know why she was mad at me, but she made a TikTok about how I was a terrible boss. And everybody else was like, "Hey, did you see this?" And I'm like, "No," and I watched it, and it stung. Like I was like, "Ah." But I remember in that moment sending her a message and saying, "I know you have to be mad at somebody, and I know that you have to put your feelings and place your blame on somebody, and if that has to be me, then I'm willing to do that for you right now. But know that if you ever knock at my door, if you ever call me, I will be right there for you." And like, I want to be like that with everybody. I want to be able to have that thought process, that know that, I'm not called so that you love me. I'm called to love you. I mean, no matter what that looks like, no matter what that makes me feel like.
I like that.
But, whew,
That's heavy.
ew, it's hard. So, all right. So, we will. We're still trying to really work out a schedule. Friday seemed to be the best day for us to actually sit down and get this put into the microphone. So just continue to be patient with us. Thank you for listening to us. And if you like, we're still open to podcast ideas. We're also open to guests if you ever want to.
Yeah, if you got something to say and you're passionate about it,
Absolutely.
come on.
Yeah, let's go.
We got more microphones now.
Yes, we definitely do. So thank you for listening and have a great week.